Good morning everyone, I am Kayla Griffin and I will be showing you how to bake gluten-free bread with a bread maker so that you can easily do it at home. So you will make sure you have yeast, canola oil, 2 eggs, and gluten-free bread flour. Make sure you have bread flour and not just normal gluten-free flour because there is a difference. I don't know the difference, but I know that it does make a difference. So you're going to get 3 cups of flour, but make sure you have a knife and use the back side so that you can even it out. Like that, see? Completely even. You can do that 3 times. Now the reason why I'm showing you how to do gluten-free is because that is what I'm used to, because there's people in my family who are gluten-free intolerant, which means they have to avoid certain dinners or foods at restaurants, and they have to pay extra to get alternatives from the store, which can become very expensive long term. Also, we'll notice that when you make your own bread at home, you get more slices of bread than the gluten-free options at the stores. Now, 3 cups of flour. It's also recommended to stiff to make it fluffier because gluten-free flour, bread flour, is a little more heavy than the other normal flour. It doesn't take long, just a few seconds. And there you go. Now you're going to have a measuring cup to mix all the wet ingredients in, because it's kind of just easier that way. So 2 eggs. Make sure to keep the shell out. If a shell does fall in, just pluck it right out. I've baked a few baked goods over the years. I've done cakes, brownies, and even cookies. With those goods, you can use gluten-free flour or almond flour. Almond flour is also a good alternative if you don't want the other brands and other types. Now you're going to get a 1/3 measuring cup for the oil. Make sure that is precise. Because baking, some people compare it to science. So you want all the measurements to be just right. Now you're going to take your measuring cup, and this is why it's easier using a measuring cup, because now that you have the eggs and oil in, you're just going to fill it all the way up to 2 cups. 2 cups on the measuring cup. Make sure the water is warm as well. So now you've got 2 cups. And you're gonna, this is the bin that goes inside the bread machine. You're gonna put on the side, and now you have all the wet ingredients together in the measuring cup. You are going to just quickly mix it all together to make sure the eggs are mixed and all that, so that once the mixer goes, it will just mix a little bit more easy. Then you pour the wet ingredients into the bin. You're going to take your dry yeast, and you're going to measure 2 teaspoons and 1/4. 2 teaspoons and 1/4. And then you are going to stir the dry ingredients one more time all together. Put that into the bin. You put the bin into the machine. Now, the machine I'm using, I don't know the brand, but I know that any other machine will do the job. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And now I'm going to, oh, it's already started. Perfect. Now, you want to go ahead and get yourself a spatula, and you're going to push down, or a knife. If you don't have a spatula on standby, you can just make sure you push down the sides, because as it's turning, it's going to not really get the corners. So just like once or twice, make sure that it's getting all the dry flour and that's all mixed. And that is good enough. So when you start it, I have it on the basic button, so you don't have to go ahead and mess it, set it up. Just turn it on, start it, and have it set for 3 hours and you're good. And here's a little example as to what I got from earlier. When the bread is done, you're going to want to take it out and just let it rest for 1 hour. Make sure that it fully finishes cooking and rising and all that, and you should be left with a bread like this. And this is a gluten-free bread, and you can tell that's a little more solid than normal bread that we get from the store. But unlike the bread we get from the store, people with celiac disease and gluten intolerance can eat this. Hope you enjoyed the process.